Live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Down on the Sidelines here on the home sideline at Lakeland University. It's your boy, Matt Yicey, Matt Crawley. And on the away sideline,
Sideline this evening is your boy Golf, aka Brenden.
so obviously we had. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to everyone that's out there listening. We appreciate it. I hope you all had a good turkey day and watched some amazing football.
Absolutely happy Thanksgiving to our 4 viewers we have had so far. But I did hear Amon Green did watch us, according to yourself, Matt. So
Yes, he
it's
did.
kind of creepy, but it is true.
Yeah. So, honestly, we had to cut our episode a little short. It was only an hour because we had trivia night, which we
Trivia
took.
night was a good time.
We took second, which is better than last.
It's better than third.
Damn right about
It's not
that.
better than first though, but we'll
Yeah.
take it.
No, but I think we should hop right into it. And I think first we should go over our game predictions because we didn't really go over that in detail.
So the game predictions from like Thursday.
Well, just for this whole week, and obviously not the Bengals, the Colts and Steelers are in the fourth quarter with 3:52 left, first and 10 on Indy 7, Indianapolis's ball.
That is a pretty good game. Dang.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll start with the Turkey Day games. Uh, we started off great. We're 0-1 for both of us. We both picked the Lions. This was our big upset of the week. I picked them 30-20. You picked them 31-27. Bills won 28-25. I mean, that was a super good game, but just really it was just super. The Detroit's defense couldn't really hold on with that last minute. Stephon Diggs really popped up during that last two drives. But
Yeah, he really did. Stephon Diggs, he didn't really show up at all in the first half of this game. And I mean, Josh Allen pretty much put the team on his back, as well as leading in passing and rushing yards. So he had 10 carries for 78 yards and a score. And he also threw for 253 and 2 touchdowns. So
with an
and Isaiah
interception.
McKenzie was the leading receiver for the team. So
Yeah, he was really getting out there. I was kind of surprised. Like, oh wow, like they were really locking up Diggs. I was like,
and
well,
you could tell Stephon Diggs was getting really frustrated,
yeah,
like in the first half.
the first pass that was attempted through it, literally he dropped it, which is very uncharacteristic from Diggs. But that kind of like set him that eventually he ended up get going like in the second not even the second half, mostly just in the last 5 minutes of the game. He got going.
It was a fantastic game
Oh, don't
overall.
get me wrong, it
The
was
fourth
amazing.
quarter, the fourth quarter was pretty much what you could have asked for in the very first Thanksgiving Day game of like this year. And the Bills and the Lions, they did not disappoint. Although we both picked the Lions, this was just a amazing game.
It was an amazing game. We were really hoping because the Lions were on that 3-game hot streak, but I mean it's the Bills. What can you expect? No, I'm looking at the breakdown of the quarter scoring. Third quarter, the Bills scored 2 points, and the Lions nothing.
Safety.
Safety. That was huge for my fantasy team, which I won.
Yeah, the Bills defense.
Yeah, I think they got me 8 points. Actually, let me check real quick. In the meantime, I'll go over to Detroit's stats. Jared Goff went for 23-37, 240, and 2 touchdowns. And Jamal Williams led the team in rushing, 18 carries, 66 yards, and 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 receptions, 122 yards, and a touchdown.
I wasn't surprised by the way the Lions offense played in this one, but the Bills rushing defense, they started to finally show up in this game. And Jamal Williams, he has played some pretty good football compared to DeAndre Swift when they put him down on the bench to put Jamal Williams in as the starter. So I believe Jamal Williams has the most touchdowns this year out of any player who's not a quarterback.
Really? I did not know that.
I
So,
believe so. I think he has 11.
oh wow. Yeah, so I don't know much else about this game. Super good Thanksgiving game to kick off the day. You're both 0-1. But, yeah, Bills take this one 28-25. You couldn't ask for a better game to start off Thanksgiving. Go on to the next one. NFC East rivalry. I'm not even going to attempt.
Rivalry.
Yes.
There you go.
Giants
I got you.
Giants at the Cowboys. We both picked the Cowboys. I predicted 35-14. You said 24-14. Cowboys win it 28-20. Another super good game. I mean, none of these games really disappointed. None of them were big blowouts. I mean,
It really was. The Thanksgiving Day games were basically anything that an NFL fan could ask for.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I would go over the stats right here. Oh, Be Real went off. Never mind. Daniel Jones, 21 for 35, 228 yards, and a touchdown. Saquon, 11 carries and 39 yards, but a touchdown. Darius Slayton.
Very surprising to see Saquon only have 39 rushing yards,
I know, that's super uncharacteristic.
especially after not the Cowboys. The Packers just ran all over the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, Darius Slayton led the team in receiving 3 receptions, 63 yards. But Richie James had the lone touchdown. He had 5 receptions for 41 yards. And really spread the ball around a lot. But, yeah, that's it for the Giants. I mean, it was a super close game. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining game overall. And the Giants, they were kind of trying to get a comeback going there in the fourth quarter towards the end of the game, but it was just like way too late for them to do anything. And I had Ezekiel Elliott and CeeDee Lamb on my fantasy team, so they carried me this week.
Oh my gosh, there are 2 females in your room, Brenden. Brenden has some
Yeah.
guests. Brenden has some guests in his room right now.
I'm not sure if they're really listening to like what we're talking about. They can't hear you.
No,
so
they
it's just,
can't.
like,
But I saw your Be
Yeah.
Real, so yeah. You want to go over the Cowboy stats? Unless you already did, and I was just oblivious.
I have not yet. So yeah, we'll talk about Dak Prescott and the day that he had. Dak Prescott's starting to make his great return to this team after
This team's
that
looking scary.
injury. Yes. So he went 21 for 30 for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott led the team in rushing with 16 carries for 92 yards and a touchdown. And then we kind of touched on CeeDee Lamb as well. He had 6 receptions for 106 yards. And the Cowboys, they led every single offensive stat in this game. According to Google, they had a total of 430 yards compared to the Giants 300 and 261 passing compared to 210. And then they absolutely dominated in rushing, almost having 170 compared to the Giants 90.
Yeah.
If you look at the yards per play, it's quite a bit of yards per play, if I would say 6.2.
That's basically a first down. I mean, same with the Giants. They had 5.1, but that's basically every other play is it's a first down.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of surprising to see that this game wasn't higher scoring after like seeing all of that. But the Cowboys, they're 8-3, dangerous team in the NFC East. Giants, after losing 7-4, still a team to watch in the league.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Philly has to play them twice. They gotta play Dallas in Dallas. Philly actually plays Tennessee next Sunday. Actually, this
Yes.
Sunday, that's going to be a scary game. Philly has a really tough schedule coming up.
I think a really good game next week, and we'll talk about it more, is going
Yeah.
to be the Dolphins and the 49ers.
Yes, that's going
They're
to be a
like the
super
two
good game.
hottest teams in the league right now.
I think we've been shitting on the 49ers too much. I think we need to finally put recognition to their name because that defense is stellar.
Yeah, I think you're right. I hate to say that, but I it is about time they've proven themselves and all of that. So, um yeah, the 49ers, they will be a good team to watch here as the season reaches its final weeks. So, next game up here was the Thanksgiving night game between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings.
Let me tell you, I was
And
expecting primetime Kirk Cousins, but that was not the case.
I was shocked.
I'll
So,
I'll, I'll go
Matt,
over I'll go over my Minnesota's Vikings first.
yes, you predicted the Vikings to win this one
I
21 to
did.
20, and I predicted the Patriots 13 to 16. We both thought this would be a little low scoring.
Yeah,
So,
there's like no
uh,
defense involved.
I, I was very surprised by it. I'll go over the Patriots statistics and then I'll pass it over to you.
Sounds good.
So, for the Patriots, Mac Jones, 28 for 39, 382 yards, 2 touchdowns, pretty well played game overall. Ramondre Stevenson only had 36 yards with 7 carries, leading the team in rushing. And then Devontae Parker was the leading receiver for the Patriots with 4 receptions for 80 yards.
Yeah, I'm seeing that Nelson Aguilar had the touchdown along with Hunter Henry. We'll talk about that questionable touchdown catch or no catch that the NFL still doesn't know. But I guess, yeah, the Patriots played a really good game. Mac Jones was super good. I mean, he could have really played a lot. He played super well. It was just Vikings just did better. Speaking of Vikings, Kirk Cousins was 30 for 37, 299 yards, and 3 touchdowns and an interception. Justin Jefferson went 1 for 1 for 11 yards. That was a nice little trick play that they did. Dalvin Cook led in rushing, 22 carries, 42 yards. He hasn't been producing that well. In receiving, Justin Jefferson, 9 receptions, 139 yards, and a touchdown, along with Adam Thielen, who got a touchdown. And TJ Hawkinson scored his first touchdown with Minnesota. Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the team, TJ Hawkinson.
Yes, sir. I mean, super, what's the word? Super beneficial. Also, Kenny Wangu kick return touchdown, which is 94 yards. I mean, that was huge because Patriots got the ball in this start of the second half. They went down and scored, and then we responded with that. I was like, all right, now the momentum kind of shifted, and after that, the momentum really did shift.
Did you see the camera angle on that kickoff return though?
It was nice.
That was like one of the best like done camera sequences I've seen in a long time in the league. So keep it up, whoever was doing that. 'Cause
NBC.
you should get a raise.
Yeah, and then you want to talk about that Hunter Henry catch?
Catch, no catch. They ruled it a no catch. Then the Patriots kicked the field goal. So I don't know about this play. It kind of reminds you of that Des Bryant play.
Oh, I was gonna say
Playoffs.
Jesse James of Pittsburgh and New
Same with the
England.
same with the Jesse James play. But for the Steelers against the Patriots. So it's kind of funny seeing the turntable shift on the Patriots in this type of situation. Um, I I was gonna say it's a catch. That's me personally.
I
But
mean, it's debatable. I mean, yeah, like as he hit the ground, the ball came and touched the ground for what they were saying, but it was just super close. And final score update from Indianapolis. Steelers on top of Indy 24-17.
It's the final.
That's the final.
Hey,
So I am now 10-5, and you are now. I think you're over 500. Not entirely sure.
I definitely got more games correct this week.
Oh yeah, for sure you
last
did.
week. But yeah, we'll just keep going on these from week 12, unless you want to add more to the Hunter Henry play.
I don't know. It's just NFL just needs to be more consistent. I thought at first it's like crap, like it's a catch, and then you realize like, oh wait, the ball moved because then they have like they got to survive the ground, which I'm just like all right, whatever. But yeah, they just gotta be more consistent. But moving on, we had the Texans playing the Dolphins. I picked them in a blowout, 40-14 Dolphins. You had them at 34-13 Dolphins. They won 30-15. I mean, it's Houston, so I don't know what else to expect. They did bench David Millis, in place of Kyle Allen, 26 for 39, 215 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And leading rusher was oh gosh.
I know this guy because he played for Wisconsin.
Wait, did he really?
Yeah, Daria Gumbawale.
Yes, hey, I kind of said it. Oh my gosh, 4 carries, 14 yards and a touchdown. Receiving,
Wisconsin, baby.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
For receiving, Jordan Atkins, 5 receptions, 61 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's it. They didn't do much. I'm actually going to look at the team stats. 210 total yards. That's not very good.
It is not. Because, I mean, we kind of knew that what was going to happen here. The Dolphins are just a way more completed team. And I would say they're one of the top 3 teams in the NFL right now. Oh, for
sure.
Led behind Tua Tagovailoa, and he went 22 for 36 for 299 and a touchdown. And then Jeff Wilson Jr., he had 13 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. I'm glad I brought him back to my fantasy team. And then Jalen Waddle led the team receiving over Tyreek Hill, surprisingly. 5 receptions, 85 yards. But I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill had like the same receiving yardage as Jalen Waddle did. I will take a look here.
Tyreek went 6 for 85.
Yep. Jalen Waddle just averaged for more yards per reception.
Yeah, because he just had one last catch.
Yeah, not much else to really say about this game. The Dolphins are a dominant team. They're proving themselves that they are the number 1 team in the AFC East. Because it's not the Bills, because the Dolphins beat the Bills earlier this year. So it's going to be exciting to see that rematch go down in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a super good game. I'm kind of rooting for the Dolphins. I think people got to realize that, hey, the Bills they're no longer the top team. Josh Allen, in my opinion, is out of the MVP race. But, yeah, I think the Dolphins definitely deserve that.
Absolutely. And also another shout out to a former Badger player, Andrew Van Ginkel. He had an interception in the game for the Dolphins.
Oh, there you go. I mean, for calling out Badgers, Alex Ingold, he had 1 reception for no yards. He was a state champ for Bayport High School. I remember watching him when I was a little kid down at state wrestling in the Kohl Center. So the people that you know in the NFL that wrestled. But yeah, Dolphins.
Crazy.
I know. But Dolphins wins as we expected, 30-15. They improved to 8-3. 8-3.
And then the Texans are 1-9-1.
Yeah, which is disappointing.
It was expected, to be honest.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, so on to the next game. of that Sunday, which was a really good one. We saw the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. So we both predicted the Bengals to win this game. You said 24-20. I said 31-30. And the Bengals did win this game, 20-16. Matt, your thoughts?
I didn't really see much of this game. Obviously, they were saying Jamar Chase was going to come back, but he didn't. Wasn't a problem. Joe Mixon was out. Still wasn't a problem. They got the job done. Just going over the stats. Joe Burrow, 22 for 37, 270 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Samaje Perine, 17 carries, 58 yards.
Ryan.
Yeah, P. Ryan, whatever. For a touchdown. T. Higgins, 7 receptions, 114 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, it was a super good game, as we both predicted. Obviously, these are two powerhouses in the AFC, and basically it was just all right. Who's gonna be the better powerhouse? And I think we saw that the Bengals. They said that after they started 0-2, so they won. They've won 7 of their last 9. 7 of their last
Yeah,
9 games.
The Bengals are hot right now.
Yes, they're
This is a
definitely
team.
they're not in a Super Bowl hangover, unlike the Rams.
Yeah, this is a team that is well under the radar, in my opinion. Not many people talk about them, and Joe Burr. I'm gonna say it every time.
Oh my gosh.
He finds a way to win. Even after going 0-2 to begin the year, this Bengals team, you gotta watch out for them. And then when Jamar Chase becomes healthy, they are a threat.
Yeah, I mean Jamar Chase, top 10 receiver, obviously not as of right now because he is not playing. So I mean, what else can you really
He
expect?
should be back next week.
Yeah, from the hip injury.
Yeah, so we haven't touched on the Titans yet, so
So you
I'll
give
go
them a
over their
rundown.
stats. Yeah, so Ryan Tannehill went 22 for 34 for 291. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He played a pretty quality game. Derrick Henry led the team in rushing for 17 carries, 38 yards. He did catch a screen pass early in the game, which looked like was going to go for like a 75-yard score, but then I believe it was I'm trying to think of the Bengals defensive player. It was Bates the third, I
Oh, Jesse
believe.
Bates.
Jesse Bates. Yeah, he ended up punching the ball out of his hand, and then it was a fumble in the end zone, and Traylon Burks for the Titans ended up picking it up to
Oh,
secure
he
the
he just
touchdown.
hopped on it because it was literally he fumbled on the 2 yard line and went into the end zone, and Burks was right there. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna hop on it."
it was a heads up play from Burks to keep running down the field to
Oh
follow
yeah.
him because like there was nobody else who was there. So yeah, speaking of the screen pass, Derrick Henry is the reason why he led the team in receiving yards because uh, 75 of those 79 yards were from that one play.
Oh
So
no. Well then. I mean, I didn't
yeah,
like I said, I didn't really get was able to watch this game that much, but still
wasn't
won the hell of a game.
I wasn't really able to watch many of these games either because I, Sunday was the day that I moved back here, so I missed a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the the noon games and parts of the afternoon games. So
Yeah.
I did watch the highlights for these though. So I've been taking my notes a little bit.
Well,
So
that's
we can
good.
go on. Yeah, we can go on to the next game. This game was trash, say the least.
Oh, Panthers and Broncos, which I predicted right.
Yeah, I predicted wrong.
I mean,
I don't know why I chose
Broncos
the Broncos.
Broncos are just a disaster. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not picking them next week. I don't
you
even know if they're playing next week.
shouldn't pick them. Period. I mean, I'll go over the Broncos stats. Russell Wilson went for 19 for 35, 142 yards and a touchdown. Latavius Murray, 13 carries, 92 yards. Cortland Sutton, led the team in receiving, 6 receptions, 75 yards. Then Brandon Johnson had the touchdown. I mean, they're 3-8.
It's so sad to see this team struggle.
And this team was
this bad.
This team was supposed to have such high expectations.
Seattle Seahawks right now get the third overall pick.
I was gonna say they are looking pretty.
And we keep going over the Seahawks and the Broncos from this Russell Wilson trade, and how the Seahawks are winning it.
Oh my gosh!
Continues. And I don't think it's going to ever go in the Broncos' favor.
Unless somehow they get a stud, like a breakout player, in like the third round, wherever pick their first pick is. It might be the second round. But no, it's so
can't
bad.
Really see it. But Latavius Murray, he kind of did step up in the role after they let go of Melvin Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
So he got close to 100 yards in rushing. So, like, not really much to complain about there. But
no.
Russell Wilson, he's struggling, even though he didn't throw an interception. Does he still have less touchdowns than bathrooms in his house?
Yes, he has. He's now up to 8 touchdowns and 12 bathrooms.
Do you think he's gonna get to 12?
Well, I sure hope so. If he has less than 10 touchdowns by the end of the year, he needs to retire after that. There's no coming back from that.
It seems like he's on pace to have like 12 exactly.
Well, if he does, who the hell keeps messaging me in Discord? Shut the hell up.
Yeah, shut the hell up in Matt's Discord.
Thank you.
This is serious time.
No, but no, but it's just super disappointing. Russell Wilson. Shut the hell up! Jesus. Oh my God. Mute you.
Just mute him, man.
That's what I'm doing.
All right. While you're figuring out that crap, I'm gonna talk about the Carolina Panthers. In their victory to bring them to 4-8, led by Sam Darnold this week. He went 11 for 19 for 164 and a touchdown. DeMonta Foreman led the team in rushing, 24 carries, 113 yards. Sam Darnold had a rushing touchdown.
Well, do we call that a touchdown? He fumbled it, he just rolled in.
Yeah, that's a valid point, but according to Google, they called it a touchdown, so I'm just going to go based on what I see on the sheet. And then for receiving, DJ Moore led the team by a lot. He had 4 receptions for 103 and a touchdown. I didn't really see much of this game except that the Broncos were struggling to score, which didn't really surprise me. I don't know why I keep trusting this team. I think it's just because of that trip to Denver that I went on this past summer. I brought it up the past few episodes. This team is most definitely not the same compared to that time where I watched their training camp. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, it's just been a super disappointing year. I don't know what else to say. Do you see the defensive lineman that blew up in Wilson's face?
Yeah,
because he cares so much, and then Wilson was just like, "Yeah, okay." I don't know what he said. I saw a bunch of
memes on that. Like
it was like, "Let's ride."
Yep, that was the main one that I saw.
But, yeah.
Ever since the "Let's Ride," the Broncos are crashing.
Yes, it's the memes. It's like, oh, Broncos country, let's ride. Is like the ride is like a car stuck inside of a rock.
Oh, I saw the one with the lawnmower like functioning like in a really fucked up way, and it's like bouncing up and down is the weirdest thing.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess we can move on from that game and on to a worse game, in my opinion. The Bears and the Jets. We both took Chicago. Yeah, we both took Chicago. Jets ended up winning 31-10.
Man, it's because Justin Fields did not play in this
No,
game.
no,
I,
no. It's
I, re-
because
I
Mike White played in this game.
no, I remember texting you right away
And that was for
once the
Kyler Murray.
once the no, this was on Sunday. I remember texting you once the Jets were winning that like they were gonna win the game, and then it just didn't even get close. I'm like, yeah, if I knew Justin Fields wasn't playing, I would have chose the Jets to
Do you
win
see
this
that
game.
Nathan Peterman almost played because Trevor Cinnamon? Oh my gosh, this
Cinnamon,
no, that's not his name. Trevor
Simeon.
Simeon. Thank you. Not Cinnamon. Simeon. Oh fuck. See him in. Okay, I'm not gonna attempt. Trevor S. He hurt his oblique during warm up, so Nathan Peterman almost started. But yeah, I
Wait, so
guess
Trevor Simeon went back in the
Simeon.
game?
Yeah, like he heard it like an hour before the game. There's decided, oh wait, do we start him now? Because like 15 minutes before the game started, they didn't have a starting quarterback because they didn't know what the hell they were gonna do.
I remember hearing that, and they said that David Montgomery might play the emergency
Yeah, he's the
quarterback. I don't know if you
emergency.
saw that.
Yeah, I saw. He's the emergency quarterback. But enough of that. We'll go over the stats. Trevor Cinnamon. That's your new name. I don't know. Cinnamon. That sounded so bad.
Simeon.
Cinnamon. Trevor S. threw for was 14 for 25, 179 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. David Montgomery led the team in rushing, 14 carries, 79 yards. Chase Claypool, oh my gosh, never mind. He led the team in yards, 2 receptions for 51 yards. Then Brian Pringle caught the touchdown. I mean, it's the Bears. I mean, they were looking so good, and then they just fell apart.
Okay, Jack Sanborn though on defense for their team. Once again, shout out to the Wisconsin Badgers. Jack Sanborn. He had 10 tackles in the first half. It wasn't even through the first half, and he ended up finishing with 10 tackles, which was kind of disappointing. But
Hmm.
he was on pace to get the all-time tackles record in a game.
Which is what?
It, you can keep talking. I'll look it up and then I'll tell the viewers.
All right, yeah. So as Brendan's looking that up, I guess I'll go over the Jets because it's the Bears. There's not much else to say. Mike White went off, replaced the benched Zach Wilson. 22 for 28, 315 yards and 3 tutties. Zonovan Knight led in rushing, 14 carries, 69 yards. Ty Johnson. Oh, you got it?
I got it.
What is
So
it?
the most tackles in an NFL game is 20, recorded by the New York Jets' David Harris in a game
Oh.
against the Washington Redskins in 2007.
You can't say that word. The Washington Commanders.
It's part of NFL history, so it's a historical term, so I am allowed to.
All right. Ty Johnson had he had the rushing touchdown, which pretty good duo. Receiving not Mike White, Garrett Wilson, 5 receptions, 95 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Elijah Moore had the other touchdown. I mean, good day for the Jets. I mean, when you have Mike White who popped off, now they're going into Minnesota, should be a good ass game.
Yeah, it's safe to say Mike White is going to be the starter next week, not the other guy's name. Already
Zach
forgot his
Wilson?
name. Yeah, that dude. The guy who sleeps with MILFs.
The MILF Hunter. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, this game, I watched this game. It was pretty boring, but it was fun to see the Bears get beat up on. But, speaking of that, now that I just realized this, the Vikings were the only team that won in the NFC this week, the NFC North.
Yeah, the only team in the NFC North. I was gonna say NFC ain't no way, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, Mike White played a phenomenal game. Plays that against Minnesota. Minnesota's in trouble. But I don't know. There wasn't
Absolutely.
much. There's not much else to say. Say that hopefully Justin Fields is better. But
Get better, Justin Fields. Hopefully your shoulder is located.
yes, wishing for speedy recoveries. But onto that, we go to Atlanta and Washington. We both picked the Commanders to win, which they did 19-13. Taylor Heineke. I mean, let's just go over the stats right away. We'll start with the Falcons, Atlanta. Marcus Mariota, 15 for 25, 174 yards, a touchdown, and interception. We'll talk about that interception a little bit. We'll talk about that later. Leading rusher for Atlanta is Tyler Algier, or is it Alliger?
I think it's Algier.
Algier. All right.
I would just like go with one name and then just like continue with it.
Yeah.
And then if people
Oh my
actually make
God.
comment about something in the comment section, then that's when we start listening.
Listen, I know I'm a communications major, but I still can't English properly. But receiving is Olamide Zakis with 5 receptions for 91 yards and McCole Pruitt with the touchdown.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Taylor Heineke, 14 for 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Then leading the team in rushing is Brian Robinson Jr. He's been playing amazing out of the backup position role. It seems like he's going to become the starter for this team. Antonio Gibson, still not sure yet, but he had 18 carries for 105 yards. And then did you see the big hat he was wearing at the end of the
Oh
game?
my gosh, I saw that. I was like,
Conference?
bro, there is no way he wore that, and he did.
Yeah, people were comparing the man to Turd Ferguson from SNL. So,
oh no.
and then leading the team in receiving, Terry McLaurin, no surprise. Not that many receiving yards though, 4 for 48 yards. And then John Bates had one of the receiving touchdowns. He had 3 receptions for 24 yards. And then Brian Robinson, he also had a receiving touchdown, 2 for 20, and his other touchdown.
Yeah, honestly, the Falcons could easily won this. I think they were on Washington's 6-yard line. It was supposed to be a little quick check down to Cordell Patterson. Ball got tipped and went straight to the end zone, and the Commanders defender caught it. Actually, I can give you that name. Kendall Fuller actually caught it. Caught the interception to seal the deal in the end zone. So could have been easily, Atlanta could easily won this. So that would have been a super.
Did not see much from this game, and
That was the only.
sad that
That was
it
kind of the only
sounded like a good
highlight.
game.
Yeah, it was definitely a full game. Not a full game. It would have been definitely a fun game to watch, but we never got a chance to see it. Honestly, the only part I really saw was that last play interception by Fuller. But yeah, Taylor Heineke has won 6 out of his last 7, or is it 5 out of his last 6 now?
Yep. They've beaten the Falcons, the Texans, the Eagles, huge win. And then they beat the Colts and the Packers and the Bears.
And they lost in Minnesota.
Yep. So if this team would have beaten the Vikings, the NFC East would look crazy.
Yeah, they sure would. Hold on. What? Oh, no. Okay. But you want to take it into the next game? You sure can, because I don't have anything else left.
Why not? So this next game was probably one of the best games of the week. It wasn't like very high scoring, but it was still a great game. Final in overtime. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers ended up losing this one 17-23 to the Cleveland Browns. And as for our predictions, we both predicted the Buccaneers to win because we thought Tom Brady would stay undefeated after divorce.
I will
But
say this: I had Nick Chubb on my fantasy team, so thank you, Nick Chubb. I'll let you talk about this game. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back.
alrighty. So Matt had the Buccaneers in this one, 35-24, and I had them 27-24. We'll talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers first. Tom Brady, he went 29 for 43, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Ricard White led the team in rushing, 14 carries, 64 yards because Leonard Fournette did not play in this game due to injury. And then Chris Godwin ended up leading the Buccaneers in receiving with 12 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. And the other receiving touchdown of the game came from Cole Keeft, who got his first career touchdown, and it was Tom Brady's 98th different receiver for a touchdown in his career, which is absolutely amazing in numbers and career-wise for TB12. And then for the Cleveland Browns, excuse me, Jacoby Brissett, he ended up going 23 for 37 with 210 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And then Nick Chubb, as Matt kind of mentioned,
I'm back,
didn't get
by the
him
way.
to be on his fantasy team. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Nick Chubb, he had 26 carries for 116 yards and a touchdown. And the other rushing score of the game for the Browns came from Anthony Schwartz. He had one carry for 31 yards. So we got away from the Tampa Bay rushing defense there.
Did you see
David
the block that Jacoby Brissett laid out?
Yeah, the pancake block that he put on
Yeah,
that
that
play.
was nice.
You don't see that much out of quarterbacks these days, but Jacoby Brissett, he's a pretty big guy. So he'll be giving out some pancake blocks to the defense. As I was saying, I was gonna say something about David Njoku. He had
Oh
the
my
only
gosh.
receiving score for the Browns. He had 5 receptions for 29 yards, but Amari Cooper led the team in receptions and receiving yards with 7 for 94 yards. And then, yeah, this one was a final in overtime. Pretty much of a thriller of a game. It almost looked like the game was going to end in a tie because
It really
the Buccaneers
did.
had the ball with like 3 minutes left in overtime. And I mean, nothing was going, and they punted it away. But then the Browns, they were able to score the game-winning touchdown. So they took it home 23-17 in Cleveland. So a bit of a shocker for a lot of NFL fans.
Yeah, I mean, Njoku had the amazing one-handed catch. It was on 4th and 10 too. So
It was a 4th down play, really.
it was a 4th and 10, yeah, and he hauled it in. David Njoku, thank you. You're also on my fantasy team. So, but yeah, it is wild. But yeah, I saw the tail end of this game. Obviously, the bonus coverage from the Bears game went over to this game, so it was super enjoyable to watch. Super good game. I can't say much else besides that. Browns won.
Yes. I think I skipped
Yes.
Chris Godwin's receiving stat for the Buccaneers because for some reason it was Ricard White who was on the board for leading that, but it was actually Chris Godwin. He had 12 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown.
Gotcha.
So, but I did tell the viewers that that was Tom Brady's 98th different player he passed it to for a touchdown in Keeft. So Tom Brady is proving that he can still play, although he's 45 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll probably hit 100 different players very soon for touchdowns, which is a pretty amazing stat. I don't know if you saw this statistic either, but Tom Brady's total passing yards in his career can reach from Cleveland to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton.
I did see that. That was insane.
So that is something people can keep in mind. It just puts into perspective how many footballs this man has thrown for completions.
Yeah.
Because if you count all of his incompletions too, which is probably close to another 100,000 yards, you can almost stretch the entire state of Ohio.
Yeah, what this man has been able to do is just crazy. Obviously, Hall of Fame quarterback, no doubt about it. But Jesus. But yeah, after the divorce,
Yeah.
Tom Brady is no longer undefeated.
Maybe he got back with Giselle, and we just don't know.
I don't know about that. But I guess let's move on to the next game. Ravens and Jaguars. You picked the Ravens in this one, and I picked the Jacksonville Jaguars in this one. I picked
Not
this.
picking the upside, man.
I picked
I
the
did not
upset.
expect this game to go like this.
No, neither did I. Uh, I said 24-20. They pulled it with 28-27. I mean, the MVP was the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot, obviously. What the hell was that?
I don't know what the hell that guy
Oh
was on.
my! I don't know what he was on, but let's go over the Ravens.
He did prevent Justin Tucker from making that game winner, though.
67 yards and came up inches short.
If it wasn't for the idiotic looking mascot, I think the Ravens would have won this one. They must have got too distracted. But yes. So the game leaders for this one, for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, he played a decent game.
I mean, he was
16 for 32.
I wouldn't call that decent.
254 touchdown.
I wouldn't call that decent. That's only 50%.
Yeah. He didn't have an interception, though, which is like what makes it decent. And I guess one of the plays of the game was like probably close to a third of his passing yards. If you remember, it was his deep pass to Deshaun Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like, I swear it was like a 70-yard pass.
I forgot that he played for them. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even know that Deshaun Jackson was still in the league. So
Yeah,
I don't blame him
he's been going back. He's been jumping around teams for like 1-year deals.
Seems about right. Yeah, it's good to see him still playing, but the dude's got to be pretty old.
Yeah.
Anyways, Lamar Jackson led the team in rushing as well, 14 carries, 89 yards. Then Gus Edwards had the lone rushing score of the game, 16 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. John Oliver led the team in receiving, 4 receptions, 76 yards, and a touchdown. And then Justin Tucker's streak of most consecutive made field goals in the regular season has snapped because John Harbaugh decided to say, we're going to kick a 67-yard field goal for the win, and you can't blame the guy because
he has the
Justin
leg.
Tucker made it in warm-ups.
Yeah, and obviously different things can happen, but if you did not know that was going short, you're just like, holy shit, he just broke his record again.
It was, I watched it on TV, and it looked like he was going to make it.
Oh, yeah,
like,
it was right down the middle. It was insane.
I wouldn't say right down the middle, but, like, it was easily on track.
Like, yeah.
I understand that. It stinks to see that his streak of most consecutive made field goals snapped because of that play. Like,
yeah.
It's almost like you shouldn't even count it. If it's a field goal that's above the NFL record, which he has, like, and you miss it, I wouldn't really call it a miss, but statistically it is. You can take over on the Jaguars here.
All right. Trevor Lawrence had himself a day, 29 for 37, 321 yards, and 3 touchdowns with no interception. Leading for rushing was Jim McCall Hosty, 12 carries, 28 yards, so not much in the rushing game. Travis Etienne did go out with an injury, so might have been a big reason. Zay Jones led the team in receiving, 11 receptions, 145 yards. Jamakal Hosty had one of his touchdowns, 5 receptions, 67 yards. And Jamal Agnew, 5 receptions, 37 yards, and the other touchdown. And Marvin Jones, 3 touchdowns, 22 yards, and 1 touchdown. I
Yes,
mean,
that his name is Jamichael Hasty. That just be a guess.
oh yeah, now I can see it. That's a weird name, Sage of Michael.
I
Anyways,
mean, yeah.
but no, Jaguars really played super good. They blew a 10-point lead. Baltimore did.
Surprise, surprise.
What else is new?
Yeah, but you got to give credit to Trevor Lawrence on that last drive of the game.
They went for two to win it too.
How composed he was staying in that entire situation as the clock was ticking down. For a young quarterback, that definitely puts pressure on yourself. But this guy was throwing dots
Mm-hmm.
to his receivers, especially in the 2-point conversion. He put the ball right where it had to be. And
Yeah.
I love the gutsy play call from Doug Peterson there too. We kind of saw it when he coached out in Philly when they went on their Super Bowl run. He made a ton of gutsy play decisions, especially the Philly special from the Super Bowl against the Patriots that they won. The guy is full of a bunch of trickery
Surprises.
and gutsy play calls, which I love seeing that out of head coaches. I think it's something that's great for the game of football.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, this was a huge win for the Jaguars. They beat a playoff caliber Baltimore Ravens team, which I believe I had the Ravens in my top 10 teams in the league.
I think we both do.
I'm going to have them there anymore. Oh.
I don't know. You have them at... No, you don't have them at all. We both don't have them.
That's actually shocking to me.
Yeah, ESPN had them at 7.
Yeah, we're just better than ESPN.
I guess so. But yeah, super good game. I didn't really get to see much of it. But Jacksonville improves to 4-7. Baltimore falls to 7-4. With that being said, let's move on to the next game, which is Seattle and Las Vegas.
This was a game.
Mm-hmm. It was. Oh boy. Definitely one that we did not predict. We thought Seattle would win this, but I'll start off with the Raiders stats. Derek Carr, 25 for 36, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Oh my God!
That Josh Jacobs was the first player this week, or not this week, the first player this season to have over 200 rushing yards.
33 carries, 229 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Holy shit.
I believe he had a total of
303
fantasy points.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Devontae Adams led with 7 receptions for 74 yards. Josh Jacobs, well, technically they tied. Wait, what the hell? This should be Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had 6 receptions for 74 yards. Mock Hollins had a touchdown for reception, 63 yards. Amir Abdullah, 3 receptions, 39 yards. And Foster Moore, 3 receptions, 33 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, they balled out. I will say, so obviously, I don't know if you saw, but the very first play from scrimmage, Derek Carr threw an interception. And there's
see that.
And a guy
I
from
was like, oh, yep, the Raiders are done.
No. I mean, there was a guy that came off Seattle's sideline and started blocking.
Yeah, like
I saw that.
Turned into the 12th man.
Like Seattle, you're taking that a little bit too seriously, but yeah, that was hilarious.
Nah, that was high IQ out of Seattle to do that because
But the refs are
refs didn't
so dumb. They didn't
the
call it.
refs didn't even catch it.
No, they didn't. So it was just like, oh, okay. But
Yeah, but
wow.
Derek Carr threw that interception. I was like, okay, this team's done. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't think that the defense of the Raiders is going to be able to hold the Seahawks in check, but they did. I mean, not really in check because it's the highest scoring game of the week, but enough to win in overtime.
Yeah, for
But
sure. By 1 point, your Packers almost had the highest scoring.
I would have thought the Packer game would have been the highest scoring game, especially based off of like how the first half went. The over under for that game was 46 points, by the way. The Packer game.
They were what?
The over under of the Packer game was 46.
Oh my gosh.
And I think, did it get broken in the first half? I think
Not
it did.
entirely sure.
I think it's 27-20 at that point, but we'll touch on that game here in a bit. For the Seahawks, Geno Smith, 27 for 37, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. And then Kenneth Walker, he has put himself in a great starting role after the Seahawks starter went down with an injury early in the season.
It wasn't Chris Carson. Richard Penny?
Help
No,
me
no,
with
no,
his
no.
name.
Ricard Penny.
It was Penny.
It was Ricard Penny.
All right. So, yeah, once he replaced Penny for the starting position, he is done very well. 14 carries, 26 yards, 2 touchdowns. Fantasy owners are going to like those touchdowns. And then DK Metcalf led the team in receiving, 11 receptions for 90 yards. Then Tyler Lockett had one of the touchdowns for the team. He had 68 yards and 3 receptions. And then Travis Homer had 2 receptions for 45 yards and a touchdown for the Seahawks. And Quandre Diggs, he had 2 interceptions for Seattle, including the one at the beginning of the game.
I mean, Carr did throw 2 interceptions, so if he caught 2, that means he caught both.
Good math.
Thank you.
I like your way of thinking on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But did you see that it was a 84-yard game-winning touchdown rush by Josh Jacobs?
No.
It was 84 yards, I do believe. It was 84 or 86.
I missed the conclusion of that game. And I watched pretty much the entire fourth quarter because it was really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it was overtime, I ended up going to, I believe it was Walmart that we went to yesterday. Yeah, do a little bit of grocery shopping. So I missed the end of that one, unfortunately.
You miss a thriller, let me tell you.
I'm gonna have to watch the highlights after this. I don't know, man.
I don't know. A lot of good games this year. But yeah, definitely a huge loss for Seattle. That actually takes them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, doesn't that put the 49ers up in front?
Yes, so they are one full game behind.
And we'll talk about the playoff picture.
You'll talk about it later in the episode, yeah. But yeah, Raiders improved to 4-7. Seattle falls to 6-5, and on to the next one, which I do believe
this one was also a really.
This one was super good. Chargers and Arizona. I think you picked Arizona to begin with, and then you switched it to Los Angeles because Kyler Murray wasn't playing.
I think it was already confirmed. No, Kyler Murray did play in this game.
Oh yeah, he did.
No, I believe I had the Chargers in this one.
I will say this: you did pick a 1-score game, but a 1-point game, but it was just the wrong score. I said 28-21. You said 28-27.
I remember telling you this was when you were at my house for our last episode. Yeah. I said something I don't know how the scoring's gonna go, but I see it ending in a 1-point game. Like I can't really
Hmm.
see how one team scores this many points, but I mean it almost happened. If each team got a field goal, I would have got it right on the dot.
Yeah,
But
literally.
this game was one of the best games from this week too. There were a lot of really good
They were
games this week.
super good
Like I
games.
know I keep saying that, but uh this one actually stands out to me. I saw the conclusion of this game and it was very exciting to watch. The Chargers ended up going for two at the end of the game and they ended up converting. It was like a pass to Gerald Everett.
Yep,
I
I
believe
saw that.
yeah, the Chargers won 25-24 in a thriller of a game. I can't wait to watch the Hard Knocks episode on the Cardinals
Oh
after that.
gosh. Yes.
Um,
Take the
as
Chargers stats.
yeah, so for the Chargers, Justin Herbert, he's kind of starting to
He's getting in
find
his
his way
groove.
back into things again after his rib injury. Uh, he went 35 for 47 for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then leading the team in rushing was also Justin Herbert. He had 4 carries for 38 yards. Eckler behind him with 5 for 20 yards. And then receiving DeAndre Carter, he led the team for 7 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Austin Eckler, he had 11 receptions for 60 yards and a touchdown. Austin Eckler had more receptions than carries in this game. Kind of hard to believe, but
Oh gosh.
does like to play that receiving running back type of
Yeah,
position.
he's the now. I yeah, face of that, because it used to be Kamara and now he's kind of been falling off a lot. So now
Yeah,
people are looking at Eckler's like, okay, this is like the wide receiver running back that everyone wants.
and that's why he's like one of the best players in fantasy football.
Yeah,
And
because he can do both.
I got Herbert and Eckler on my fantasy team, and man, did they do me good. But lastly, Keenan Allen, he had 5 receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown. I mean, all fantasy owners who own Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler on their team would know what I'm talking about. Once they get that like connection going, they can score a shit ton of points, and then you'll win because I won in my league this week because of that, which was fantastic. But we'll pass it over to your home sideline, Matt, to talk about the Cardinals.
Yeah, so Kyler Murray went 18 for 29, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns and interception. James Conner led in rushing, 25 carries, 120 yards. Kyler Murray did get the rushing touchdown that he rushed her 7 times for 56 yards. D Hop had 4 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. And James Conner had also had a receiving touchdown, 3 receptions for 20 yards. I didn't really see much of this game at all, if I'm being completely honest. Um, I just know that I was kind of like keeping up to date because I saw it was a super close game. But I didn't really, like I said, I don't know. I didn't watch this game, so I don't know much about it.
Um, that's too bad that you didn't watch this game because I think it was one of the best games of the week. I mean, if it ends in a 1 point game, you know it's a freaking good game. Um, I can't wait to watch the Hard Knocks episode on the Cardinals, though. I think it's gonna be really good. Have you gotten started with the Lions Hard Knocks yet?
Yeah, I'm like 3 episodes in with that.
How's that one going?
I really like that. It really shows you how care like how truthfully like the Lions actually care about winning. It's just that they just can't pull through with it. But I really do enjoy that.
So the next game we got
That
on the
was a
slate.
weird transition. But anyways, yes, the next game,
Yeah, next game on
super
the
boring
slate.
one.
Yeah, the dominant San Francisco 49ers against the uh, lifeless New Orleans Saints. That's the best way of putting this one. The 49ers won this one 13-0. So if you're a fan of defense in the NFL, this was the game for you. We both predicted the 49ers to win this game. You said they would win 27-20, and I said 24-7.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously we were wrong.
I mean, we're correct on the team to pick, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything else about this game is a very quiet one. Andy Dalton for the Saints, 18 for 29, 204 yards. Not much to talk about there with them. He led the team in rushing over
Um,
Alvin Kamara.
he fumbled
Here's a
twice.
shocker.
He fumbled twice.
Is that why they took him out of the game?
Yeah, because he had fumbled twice. One of them was right on the 2 yard line.
I saw that. It looked like the Saints were possibly gonna have a comeback, and then
He
he ended up getting the ball
coughed.
stripped out of his hand.
Yeah, he coughed up the ball.
Not the spot to cough up the football,
No.
especially the red zone. That is a no-no, and you'll find yourself on the bench when that happens. And then leading the team receiving, Chris Olave, 5 receptions, 2 yards. The Saints team, um, it's crazy that they're still in the race for the NFC
South.
South, but
That's just that's
I
just
don't.
that's just a super bad division now. I mean, I think everyone has a losing record. Yeah,
Every team has a
Bucks
losing
are five
record.
and six. Atlanta's 5-7. Carolina's 4-8, and the Saints are 4-8 as well. So that division is really up for grabs,
And what's really stupid is right now Tampa Bay would have a home game in the playoffs because they play the 5 seed.
which is the Cowboys, which I think they would lose then. I
Oh,
don't know.
they'd get smoked.
I don't know. Maybe if Tom Brady pulls something out of his ass and goes full playoff mode,
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
I wouldn't be surprised. I guess that game could be a toss up, but yeah,
Yeah, do you want to talk about the San Francisco 49ers, Matt?
I sure will. Jimmy G went 26 for 37, 222 yards, and a touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, 7 carries, 35 yards, no touchdowns. I did see, was it Elijah Mitchell that he's out? Let me,
He's out now. Hmm.
let,
So Christian McCaffrey's gonna be the guy.
yes, let me confirm this real quick. Where is it? Elijah Mitchell is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks with an MCL injury. This is from Catch the Blitz on Instagram. So yeah, so 6 to 8 weeks. That's
Man,
basically out for the year.
that's the season.
That's basically the season. Yeah. But anyways,
Fuck.
Brandon Ayuk led in receiving, 5 receptions for 65 yards, and Jawan Jennings 6 receptions, 49 yards, and a touchdown. That was Jimmy G's only touchdown. I mean, their defense really stepped up. They forced 2 fumbles on Kamara. So, but I don't know what else to say about this game. It was a super boring game. Definitely super defensive game, but no one likes to watch those games anymore.
Yeah, in the NFL now, it's all about the shootout games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the main shootout game that stands out from recent memory that like every single person loved was that 49ers Chiefs game. Um, when it was Goff and Patrick Mahomes in the LA Coliseum
Oh yeah,
like
the Rams.
4 years ago.
Yeah, that's gotta be. Yeah, that might have been Mahomes' rookie year.
That was a heck of a football game.
It was the first time that a team with 50 points lost it was just that was a crazy game. But yeah, 13-0 will not get you anything good.
That will never compare to that. And
No.
you know what? This is a fantastic segue because the next game is the Rams and the Chiefs.
Oh, it
I,
is.
I didn't even plan on
No, we did
that at
not.
all.
But Chiefs win this one 26-10. We both picked the Chiefs. We thought that they were gonna blow them out, but we were wrong. So let's see. I guess I'll start with the Rams. Bryce Perkins, 13 for 23, 100 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Bryce Perkins also led the team in rushing, 9 carries for 44 yards. Van Jefferson, 3 receptions, 29 yards, and a touchdown. That is all the stats for that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was just not a good game for Bryce
not
Perkins.
not good at all for LA.
I
And
mean, hold on. May I might add Riley Dixon, 1 for 1 for 6 yards. So
that's a good addition there. You can't forget about Riley Dixon.
no.
Um, but I mean, this is the way the season's been going for Super Bowl champs. Um, it's just been downhill every single game it seems. And I don't know if you saw. It might have been the pregame or like during the game. Sean McVay got smacked in the jaw
I
by one
did
of his
see that. It
players.
was a practice squad player that came out, like first game on the active roster, and just smacked Sean McVay. He's okay. Sean McVay
That's a
is
gr-
alright.
that's a great first impression for your player to your coach. I mean, I guess if like breaking his jaw or like beating him up is a good way to do it, but um
Oh,
yeah,
speaking
it's a good
about the
thing that
Chiefs,
McVay is okay.
I will say about the Chiefs. I'm on Instagram, ESPN. Patrick Mahomes had his baby son just born. Patrick
Congratulations, Patrick.
Patrick Bronze Levon Mahomes the third, 7 pounds and 8 ounces.
Did you just say like three different middle names?
So it's Patrick, then
Patrick,
in quotation bronze as like his nickname
Bronze.
because Patrick Mahomes is the second. Levon
Okay, so this would
Mahomes
be
the
Pat
third.
Mahomes the third.
Yeah. So Patrick Levon Mahomes the third.
So him and
His
Brittany now have a daughter and a son.
Yep. I next thing you know,
I'm ready to see Mahomes the third in the NFL.
going up against Tom Brady. I wouldn't put it past it. But no, would you like to take over the Chiefs stats?
Yeah. All the jokes aside, if that was a joke, could have been serious.
No, that was all serious.
I should say this without laughing, but I don't know if I will. Um, Patrick Mahomes, he went 27 for 42, 320 yards, another over 300-yard passing game from Patrick Mahomes. He had a touchdown, an interception. Isaiah Pacheco. Um, excuse me if I said his name wrong.
Pacheco, I'm
Uh,
pretty sure.
he had he had 22 carries for 69 yards. Nice. And touchdown. And then Travis Kelsey, surprise, surprise, led the team in receiving. 4 receptions, 57 yards, and a touchdown. And it seems like this dude gets a touchdown every freaking week. Pretty much anything else though from the Chiefs. Harrison Butker, he went 4 for 4 on field goals, which was pretty big for the team. Other than that, I did not watch much of this game because we both didn't expect this game to be
It was America's
that good.
game of the week on Fox, so I watched it. I mean, the end. So Mahomes' pick was in the end zone. It was directly to the defender, and then they tried to do like a little trickery, tried to do a double pass, tried to get to Kelsey, and Jalen Ramsey broke that shit up. But yeah, that was there wasn't much crazy about it. I mean, Perkins 2 interceptions. I think they were both. One of them was just a really bad throw, and the other one was like tipped up in the air, was up for grabs. So
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much really happened in this game.
mm-mm.
Jalen Ramsey must have played some good defense on Travis Kelsey though.
Oh
To
yeah,
only
he
hold him
did.
to 57 yards or like 4 receptions. Travis Kelsey's a big guy.
Yeah, and
Um,
his. I'm looking at the Ram stats. He had a 39-yard touchdown. So Kelsey did. So take that away. He had 3 receptions for about 20. No, 19 yards, 18 yards. So yeah, that really puts a perspective onto that. But no, I don't have anything else to say to this. Chiefs are 9-2. Rams fall to 3-8. And I think this will lead us into our Sunday night game where your Packers took on the Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah. Um, this game, I guess, for me as a Packer fan, it kind of makes me hopeful, but at the same time, I'm disappointed and sad. But it was a pretty good football game. The Eagles won 40-33. In a pretty high scoring affair that probably not many people expected because we said, you actually had the Packers in this one.
I
You had the
did
Packers
because
winning 28-24.
I chose the
What's your decision?
Packers. I chose Packers because not only would it be better for Minnesota, trying to get that first seed, trying to have the playoffs go through Minnesota, but it would have been. I want to see the Eagles lose. That's my only other thing.
I wanted to see the Eagles lose too,
But you picked
which
them.
would have been super nice. But I chose the Eagles to win this one 24-21. Um, I'll go over the Packers stat line first. Aaron Rodgers, he went 11 for 16 for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And the 2 touchdowns he had were really good passes. And then the 2 interceptions he had, one of them was not a great pass. And then the other one was, I
Deflected
don't,
off his helmet. It was
yeah,
like thrown straight at the defender's helmet.
it went right off the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was that it went off of, but you know the play that I'm talking
Yeah, I
about.
know what you're talking about. It was Green Bay's second drive. And they were down
And then
14-0 right away.
And then Aaron Rodgers left the game with a rib injury, and also
Yeah.
part of it was his thumb too. But
You
you
want
could
to
tell
talk
the
about
guy was
that?
having a
You
lot
want
of
to talk
trouble.
about that actually? Because that's in our notes right here.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers was playing a pretty good game. After he threw that touchdown pass to Randall Cobb, I was like, oh my gosh, the Packers are in this game. And I think we were actually up 14-13
Yeah, this
at that
was.
point.
Yep. You guys were, after one, you guys were up 14-13.
And then it was later in the second quarter. Actually, I don't remember when this injury occurred. And I don't know what play it was where it happened because no one's confirmed anything about it. But a lot of people are saying it was a play where he tried to escape the pocket and like rush for probably like 5 to 10 yards, but he ended up getting caught. And then like there were two Eagle defenders that ended up bringing him to the ground.
So,
And in the replay, one of them looked like their helmet hit him in the ribs. It didn't seem that hard though of a
yeah.
hit.
So, from what I heard, this is from NBC, the reporter down the field. They said he was questionable with an oblique injury, which is like the
Oblique
side
injury.
oblique. So that's like the side of your abs. But then I think I saw it earlier today. I think it was by ESPN or NBC that it was actually he had a hard time breathing, so he thought that he had broken one of his ribs and like had punctured a lung or something.
Yeah, He thought that he punctured his lung, which I don't know how you could think that if you got hit
I
in the
also think that,
ribs.
like, yeah, his thumb has to deal with it. Another thing I think I have to think is that he's just done. He's given up.
I am very curious to see where this goes for the Green Bay Packers because Jordan Love, he came into the game. He went 6 for 9 with
Nice.
113 yards and a touchdown, including his, I want to say it was like a 75-yard touchdown pass to Christian
Yeah,
Watson.
65 yards is somewhere around there.
Six, 65 yards. Yeah, Jordan Love, he did really good coming off the bench. And I'm kind of excited to see where this leads this team because if Rodgers is out next week and Jordan Love plays really well this coming week, I think Jordan Love might be the guy for the Packers for the rest of the season. Just make sure Rodgers is healthy for next year if he plays at all.
I think he's gonna retire after this year. But yeah, I obviously we'll talk about Jordan Love in a little bit. But let's go over to Eagles stats. Jalen Hurts 16 for 28, 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also led. Oh my gosh. So Jalen Hurts had more rushing yards than he did passing yards. 17 carries, 157 yards. Miles Sanders, 21 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Kenneth Gainwell had another rushing touchdown. Devontae Smith led the team in receiving, 4 receptions, 50 yards. A.J. Brown, 4 receptions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. And Quez Watkins, 3 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown. I mean,
This game was absolutely crazy for
dominated.
Jalen Hurts. Um, I read a statistic that he was the first player since Colin Kaepernick to have at least 150 passing yards and 150 rushing yards in a game. And I remember early in this game when after he had like a 50-yard run, I was like, oh my gosh, the Packers defense is not going to do jack shit on this guy.
Yeah, his
And
2 runs were for 52 yards, so.
it was so scary to watch him
Oh my gosh,
run
yeah.
the ball or pass it every single time. That as a Packer fan, fire Joe Barry. This was so bad. The Packers could not tackle to save their lives.
No.
It was so frustrating to watch, especially when we went down 13-0. I was like, all right, I might just turn off the TV and go to bed. But I
Yeah, they came
continued
back, but.
watching. It came back slightly. They put up a fight against a great football team. So
Hey, you guys
I
did better than the Vikings did, so I'll give you that.
thank you, sir. I'm still disappointed in the way that it ended, but
Yeah, I mean, it's the Eagles. They improved to 10-1. The Packers fall to 4-8. But
yeah,
obviously,
Packers are out of the playoff race.
yeah, but another thing, I think that you start Love for the rest of the season. I think we'll talk about this right now. Is that it's Love's time in Green Bay starting now?
This is such a good question that we might have to go over this in the next episode because it's like that big of a
You know
topic.
what? I am fine with that, even though that was in her notes. I mean, obviously, I had the Rodgers injuries and then Jordan Love's time. Yeah, we talked about our major games. I mean, this leads us to the Monday night game, which just concluded here about an hour and a half ago. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse you.
Thank you. Which is the Colts and the Steelers. Steelers won this one 24-17. Colts did come back. They were trailing 16-3 at half. So go over the Steelers stats. Kenny Pickett, 20 for 28, 174 yards, nothing there. Benny Snell Jr., 12 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 10 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. George Pickens had 3 receptions for 57 yards. He led the Steelers in receiving. Kind of a quiet game, but I had that game going on in the background. I had it on mute, but apparently, there was some very poor clock management from Jeff Saturday.
Ooh. He's gonna get a ton of backlash on that then.
Oh yeah, I can already. He's already getting some backlash already.
Like there have been a lot of sports analyst people making fun of this Colts organization for picking this guy as their coach when like he he deserves it. If you hire somebody as your head coach, there's a reason that they're the head coach of your football team.
Yeah,
And like kind of just feel bad for the guy because they're making fun of this guy for no reason. Obviously, he made a mistake from the sounds of it, but I mean, every coach does. So it'll be something he'll move on from pretty quickly. But then again, I didn't watch any of this game because I had class.
yeah. You
So
just got out of class. We started like because your class went late, but I thought the Steelers were gonna walk all over them, and I was wrong. The Colts came back. They really turned it around. Now I'll let you take over the Colts stats.
yeah, so for the Indianapolis Colts, led by the veteran quarterback Matt Ryan, he had he went 22 for 34 with 199 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Then Jonathan Taylor on Wisconsin, he had 20 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. And then leading the team in receiving was Janali Woods. I've never heard of this guy. Um, 8 receptions for 98 yards. And then Michael Pittman Jr., he had 7 for 61 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't really see much of this game too. I missed basically, pretty much the whole damn game. I actually just got done lifting when I was in the middle of my lift as this game was going on, so I was checking up periodically between my sets. So that I was like, okay, like what's going on? I kind of saw that. I was like, okay, it's 3-0 after the first quarter. Now
Wait,
it's
they didn't have the game on when you were lifting?
it's Lakeland. They don't have anything nice in their weight room.
That's stupid. Bring out
Yeah.
some TV to the lifting area
Well,
or to the
they
gym.
have TVs in there, but three
Why don't they turn on the damn game?
because two of them there's we have like seven and only two work.
All right, they need to fire somebody, or you
They
need
don't
that
have the
guy.
money. They don't have the money for that.
Oh my god. Sounds like a disaster over there on the home sideline, Matt.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, oh boy. Yeah, I didn't really see this game. I was just checking periodically. They have
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this game because I didn't watch it.
no. But I think with that, that goes over all of our games. I think I went 10-5 this week. So, and you went one uh
Went 8-7, or
eight
no,
500.
one. Okay, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, 4-4, 4-5, 4-6, 4-7, 5-7, 6-7, 7-7, 8-7. I went 9-7.
I went 10-6. So that improves my record to 20-10. And you went. What do you say you went?
9-7.
Nine and
So
seven. So
I
you're
am now
16 and
16 and
14.
14.
So just past the 500 marker. But
Woohoo!
congratulations on that. But yeah, I think we talk about the new playoff pictures after the conclusion of tonight's game. So obviously this is by NFL. I'm looking at NFL. I don't know what I think you might be looking at ESPN. I don't know.
I take a look at the NFL playoff
Yeah.
picture.
ESPN does a really good job describing everything, but NFL is just nice and simple. So I guess we'll start with our division, the NFC. Number one is Eagles. Nothing changed there. Two is Vikings. Three is, well, division leaders. I'll just go over. Philadelphia, Minnesota, San Francisco, and Tampa are all division leaders. So one, two, three, four, as I just listed. Uh, Cowboys have the fifth seed, followed by the New York Giants, which is then followed by the Washington Commanders. So the whole NFC East, is in the playoffs.
And
The
that's not a shocker because they all have winning records. And then if you look
yeah,
at all the other divisions, a lot of the other teams who are in second or third, they don't even have a winning record.
yeah, like the line,
So
like the NFC North, like it's pretty much
it's so
confirmed.
bad.
Like
It's
the
so
second
bad.
place team is 4-7.
Yeah. I get it. The
It's the
Packers
Lions.
suck this year, and the Lions are better than us.
I'm gonna be sorry, but the next game is gonna be the Packers and the Bears. If Justin Fields healthy, this is gonna be a game for last place.
Yeah. I'm like I want Justin Fields to be healthy, so there's an actual game because I think if he doesn't play, the Packers are gonna win.
So there's
But
actually two scenarios that can happen. The Vikings can clinch the division as soon as this week.
holy shit.
They can clinch the division if they win against New York, the Jets, and the Lions lose against Jacksonville.
That's very possible.
And
I,
if they
Especially
do that,
we just saw the Jaguars beat the Ravens. It's
mhm.
possible.
If they do that, they clinch the North, and they're automatically in the playoffs, no matter what.
They'd be the first team to get into the playoffs,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
guaranteed. And then you would have that's scenario one. Scenario two is that Vikings win, Lions also win. Doesn't matter that it's still technically up for grabs. But Minnesota just has to win two of their last how many games? If I actually pull up their schedule right now.
6 games to go. Have they been at the?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
six.
play outside until Chicago, I don't think.
Like
Outdoors.
outdoors or
So
away. Okay.
outdoors. So they're in their home stadium, which is a roofed. They're in Detroit, which is roofed. They're home against Indy, which is roofed. They're home against New York, the Giants, which is roofed. And then they don't play outdoors until next year at Lambeau, which we got to talk about that because I think we want to go to that game
That would be such a fun game to go to. Yeah, we'll have to start looking for tickets on that.
and
But
do like a little vlog. I think that'd be cool.
oh, that would be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
but yeah. So if they beat, uh, by the looks of it, I think they should beat the Jets. I'm not gonna know because Mike White played out of his mind. They play at Detroit, which they have always had trouble at Detroit. They should be Indy. My biggest worry is the Giants. Packers depends how Aaron Rodgers is doing. It's at Lambeau, but don't think it'll be that. And then
At
they're
Lambeau,
at
you're
Lamb.
saying there's a chance.
Hey, there's always a chance. And then at Chicago to finish out the year, which I mean,
Here's
you
the
have
thing,
three
with
and
New York.
eight, you have 3-9, 3-8, 7-4, 4-5-1, 4-7, and 7-4. I mean, you have two
Matt,
winning teams, but
here's the thing with your team though. Once you guys end up clinching the division, which is probably going to be like
as soon
week
as next week
14,
as possible.
yeah, it's either going to be 13 or 14 where it happens. Um, don't be surprised if the starters get benched towards the end
I
of the
don't think
season.
so, no, because they want to be playing for that one seed. Because it's only a game difference.
I guess. I could see
because
that.
that's what you're
Like
going to be playing for.
that that is true. Sometimes the bye week can be a curse though,
It
but
can be, but
maybe that's just superstition talking.
no, but in the NFC right now, Eagles get the bye. Minnesota will play Washington. I would take Minnesota in that one.
Take Minnesota all day.
San Fran would host the Giants. I would take San Francisco because
San
of their
Fran,
their defense. Tampa hosts the Cowboys. I would take the Cowboys in that one.
give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, so then Eagles would play the Cowboys,
That would be a good game.
and then
I think,
Minnesota would play San Fran, and that would be another good game.
and for me, that's when it
This
would
is
all change for me. I would pick the Cowboys to beat the
I was
Eagles,
gonna say that
and I would pick the 49ers to beat the
I
Vikings.
would pick the Vikings over the Niners because I don't know who would guard Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson is definitely a threat on that team. Like,
You can't really stop him
no doubt. But the San Francisco 49ers defense, they're pretty scary.
for
Even though
sure.
they did just play a mediocre team, but
I think they
I would
have,
have the Cowboys and the Niners in a NFC championship, which I'm sure a ton of people would want to see.
and then
I would not, but
yeah, and then obviously a repeat would be for my team at least Minnesota and Dallas. Obviously, they wouldn't get blown out 40-3. I think it would be a much closer game.
Minnesota again for you.
I don't know. That's gonna be a toss up for me. Obviously, it's like, oh, they lost 40-3 last time, but I was like, you gotta think about this. It's just that's gonna be a huge toss up because everyone's gonna be like, Justin Jefferson's gonna ball out. I think Kirk Cousins will ball out. Maybe Thielen will. I don't know. That's a toss up for me. That's gonna be a close game. I feel like.
It would definitely be a close game. Like, there's so many different scenarios that we can go over
Mm-hmm.
for the NFC. It's all up for grabs.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's tough to figure out who's the best in that conference.
Yeah.
Should we go to the AFC and then after the AFC wrap things up?
Sounds good to me. So obviously, Chiefs have the first seed in the AFC. Then you have Miami at 2, Tennessee at 3, Baltimore at 4 still. You have Bills at 5, Cincinnati at 6, and then the Jets at 7. So you would have, well, Patriots dropped since they lost in Minnesota. Jets and Cincinnati both moved in, which Cincinnati is finally in the playoffs, which they respectively deserve. They should win the AFC North.
Sir.
So I think they're going to move up to 4, and Baltimore will drop down to 6. That's my opinion. But if they started today, Miami would play New York. Give me Miami.
Miami for that one too.
Tennessee and Cincinnati again.
Cincinnati.
It's gonna be played in Nashville though.
Here's the thing.
But give me Cincinnati.
I could see Cincinnati winning the North and also having a better record than the Titans.
Yes.
No, actually, or tying the Titans in record, which would give them the 3 seed because they beat the Titans.
Yes. So that's gonna be
I got
super
my
close.
money on Cincinnati.
I would also take Cincinnati, and then you have Ravens and Buffalo. Give me Buffalo.
I think that game's a toss-up.
You think
To be
so?
honest,
I don't think so.
I think the matchups between the two are pretty even. If it's in Baltimore, I mean, I would still take the Bills, but I could see it being a toss-up type of game.
Yeah, but I would still trust the Bills though.
Sure, I mean, it's Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, um,
And
Devin
just
Singletary.
yeah,
Yeah.
just that whole defense.
And their defense. Yeah. I could see that too. So,
So you would
yeah.
have the Chiefs and Cincy. You would have Miami and
And
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Give. Oh my
A
gosh.
rematch of an AFC championship
Oh my
game and then
god.
a rematch of a crazy divisional game we've had early this year.
So give me Kansas City over Cincinnati.
The
And
Cincinnati Bengals.
you're taking Cincy?
I'm taking the Cincinnati
Oh
Bengals. If the
my
Bengals can beat the
gosh.
Chiefs in the AFC championship, they can do it in the divisional.
And then give me Miami over Buffalo.
That's a tough one, man.
That is a super tough one. I think people need to realize now that Buffalo is no longer the best team in the league. I think that needs to be
People
accepted
can't get
now.
that out of their ass. They can't.
They
They're like, we got Josh Allen. We're so good.
yeah.
Like, everyone's gonna be like that.
So
But
obviously when we make our power rankings, I think it's safe to say that they won't be number one for either of us. Obviously, I think we both know who our number ones are going to be.
none of us have them at number one. We
No,
we both have
I
the
have
same number
them.
one currently.
Yeah, we both have the Chiefs. You have the Eagles at 2. I had the Cowboys. Eagles at 3. Dolphins at 4. Bills at 5. You had Bills at 4. But yeah, obviously we'll tell you our power rankings in the next episode when it does come out. We record, like I said, after Monday. Usually try to start during halftime of the Monday night game, and on Wednesdays before the Thursday night games, and try to upload them ASAP. But yeah, that's basically it for the playoffs. I mean, what's one team that you would like to see get into the playoffs?
Team that's currently not in like right now.
I mean, obviously, like I don't know. I guess yeah, that's not in it.
Yes, a team that's not in it, and I think they would have a shot. I would say the Los Angeles Chargers.
That was my pick. I was looking at that. I was like, I want to see the Chargers get in there.
They're a dangerous team. They just got Keenan Allen back. They got Mike Williams
Mm-hmm.
back. Um, I could see this team making a run.
Yeah, they're sitting at 6-5. Obviously, the NFC South is still up for grabs.
So bad.
The Falcons are only a game behind. They're 5-7, and Tampa's 5-6.
It's so funny. The Saints, they could still win that
I
division,
know
and
because they're
they're
2 games
number 14
behind.
in the division.
I know they're 4-8 and they're number 14 in the division. Bears are
The defending-
16th, so.
And then you got the defending Super Bowl champs at
Oh my
15.
gosh, that's so bad.
Yeah, talk about a Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
I think seeing the Lions make the playoffs too would be really cool.
That was gonna be my NFC team. I was like, I didn't know what. Maybe the Lions can pull something out if they really start picking up their shit. They can get that 7th seed.
Oh, they
But
they
you're,
definitely could, but
I think
it
you're actually. Let me look at ESPN's because they actually give because they actually give reasons of why they are seated where they are. Yes. So okay, never mind. Packers are 11th. Wins tiebreaker over Carolina based on strength of victory. Wins tiebreaker over Arizona based on best win percentage in
oh
conference games. Division tiebreak was initially used to eliminate New Orleans. Carolina wins tiebreaker over New Orleans based on head-to-head win competition. So really, the Packers could really be 11th or 14th, but obviously their strength of their victories are more greater than the Carolinas and Arizona's.
let's go Pack go.
But yeah, man, holy shit! Like
Okay,
the
so
NFC is just
here's
like The first 7 are like there's no reasons. There's no reason. So everything's just set in
Yeah.
stone. If you look at the AFC on ESPN, Miami wins tiebreaker over Buffalo based on head-to-head win percentage. Okay, that's fair. They also beat them in head-to-head. Tennessee wins tiebreaker over Baltimore based on best win percentage of conference games. Like, okay. Baltimore wins tiebreaker over Cincinnati based on head-to-head win percentage. So, yes. Wait, no. Yeah. Baltimore beats Cincinnati?
Baltimore. When did Baltimore and Cincinnati even play?
I'm
It
looking
must
at
have
the...
been.
It must
It
have been
must have been.
super... Yes, because it was the second game of the year. No, preseason.
Was it week 2?
No, 1, 2, 3,
I
4.
must have
Week
been.
5. Week 5. They
What?
beat them 19-17. Then Cincinnati holds a tiebreaker over the Jets based on head-to-head win percentage. Then yeah, then the rest is just, I mean, out of the mix. I mean, you have the Raiders, which is like, oh, they're the 12th seed because of this, this, and this. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. They're out of the playoffs basically. Ugh.
The Denver Broncos are sitting at 15
Yeah, we're
from
not
that
gonna
trade.
talk about that. But yeah,
So nice.
division conference.
Yeah. So who's your Super Bowl matchup then?
Oh, good lord, it would be. I want to see Minnesota go. I'm picking Minnesota.
Bias.
Oh, shut up. At least my team's
You
actually
know it's
good.
out of
I
bias.
know it's biased, but at least my team's good.
My team's good. They're just not
They're
great.
4-8.
Right?
They're
Yeah,
4-8.
that's good, not great.
No, that's dog
You
shit.
gotta be great to make the playoffs.
Yeah, Vikings are great. I want to see.
Nah,
I want to see Minnesota and Miami go at it. Minnesota and Miami.
I could see it being the Cowboys and the Dolphins, or the Cowboys and the Bills.
I was gonna say Cowboys or Chiefs. That would be on my number
Cowboys
2.
and Chiefs would be an interesting one
Number
too.
1 is Minnesota and Miami, and number 2 is Cowboys and Chiefs. The reason I say Minnesota not because it's partially biased, but you have 2 first-year head coaches, so I want to see how they treat that. Mike McDaniel and Kevin O'Connell. So
You said O'Connell is more offensive than defensive. So like
yes, he is. He is a
you
he
you
was the
you want
offensive coordinator for the Rams when they won the Super Bowl. So
okay. So
so
you
he
want
does
to
have
so maybe the change of coaching for O'Connell from the Rams to the Vikings actually affected the Rams. Like maybe it's not Sean McVay.
I don't know, but
That's another good story to talk about later, but we can bring that up a
yeah,
different
we're
time.
we're closing in on 2 hours of this episode. So I guess would you want to wrap this up now, since we kind of went
Yeah,
over the playoff pictures?
yeah, I think we've gone through everything that we need to go through for this episode.
All right,
So,
I'll let you
um,
sign us out.
yeah, so that's gonna do it for us here on the away sideline. Is Brett's.golf, aka Brenden, aka Brett's 99 Brett's, whatever the heck you want to call me here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and I'll throw it to you on the home sideline.
All right, this is Maddie Icy clocking out from Lakeland University on the home sideline, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.